You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
It's time for the DragonCon Report, your go-to show for both newbies and seasoned pros gearing up for the annual Downtown Atlanta Convention, with interviews, expert advice, and all the latest updates straight from the dragon's mouth and fans themselves. Stay tuned, you might just uncover something unexpected.
Howdy, everyone, and welcome to the 7th episode of the 2024 DragonCon Report. All right, there are less than 50 days left until DragonCon. Don't panic. We're here to help. I'm your host, Mike Gordon, and I'm pleased to introduce you to the rest of our station crew. Of course, Jen is here.
Hello, everybody.
Howdy, and Channing as well.
Hello. Happy way too close to DragonCon Day, everybody.
We are in the hot months, right? Like it's hot like outside, it's hot inside, and it's just hot because we're trying to get ready for DragonCon. I mean, it is coming up fast. And Jen, I saw you post pictures that you've got some custom stuff you're working on.
Yeah, my new tiki dress. I had a first happen. It's the first time I've ever had the sewing machine needle go through my finger as I was sewing.
Oh my goodness.
I knew it could happen. I've had plenty of friends that happened to. I'd never had it happen to me. Was not prepared. It was not fun. So there is now blood in my new DragonCon outfit, but there's red in the dress, so you can't really see it that much. But yeah, it's almost done. I successfully connected the bodice to the skirt, and I only need to do a few slight fit alterations, and then I got the zipper in with no issues.
When most people say they put their blood, sweat, and tears into their cosplay, they don't mean that figuratively. Maybe you may have gone a little too far with that one.
I thought they did, Channing. I thought that was the general rule of cosplay at DragonCon.
Is it really DragonCon if you didn't bleed for something?
That's what I've been doing wrong with my cosplays. Okay,
and this is just one outfit, right? Have you figured out exactly how many we're gonna?
Yeah, I have my schedule. There's something scheduled for every evening and a few daytime, but we're doing a lot of like vintage stuff this year. Like we're doing tiki like 3 days.
Nice.
So, and some of it's some vintage 60s outfits. Of course, there's the caftan. It'll be a vintage caftan for the running of the ropers on Sunday. So, and then there'll be some, we have our little pinup and rockabilly carpet look. There'll be a lot of carpet pattern and a lot of vintage Polynesian pop. But I'll be comfortable. So,
well, there's something to be said for that too, and you'll get no argument from me on any of that. It all sounds great.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk my wife into doing the Helen Roper event because, like, hey, you get to wear a muumuu. You cannot get much.
It's not a muumuu. It's a caftan. There's a difference.
Isn't it like whoa? I feel like this is a Frankenstein's monster situation here. I've learned something new. Either way, it's gonna be comfortable.
Oh, it's super comfortable. Matters. There's a lot of airflow. Let's put it that way. It's nice.
I'm hoping that I'm glad to see that the Roper thing has taken effect, but I'd like to see the Furley outfit like more represented.
Hey, we've had Furleys. And Stanley
thing, like velvet jumpsuits?
No, well, we had because my husband was in kind of like the 70s version of Stanley's outfit, and then we had a few Mr. Furleys. We had waiters and waitresses from the bar that's in the sitcom.
Gotcha. So it encompasses a whole Three's Company vibe.
Yes, Running of the Ropers is an established thing that began in New Orleans, Louisiana, I believe in 2012 or 13 for the very first running of the Ropers. It became a popular event there, and now it's become its own phenomenon all over the place. There's national and international Mrs. Roper's Facebook groups. People organize events in their own cities, and they've turned it into charity fundraisers for a lot of their local branches as well. So
it's awesome.
And as Kevin Cafferty is saying, they're even doing a Three's Company table read on Sunday afternoon in the Sci-Fi Classics track room during con, and some of the Ropers are going to get to take part of that.
That's awesome. That like all that crossover.
It's another good live entertainment option happening at DragonCon.
Yes.
Oh, absolutely. So many, and we're going to talk about a lot of them today. We're actually we have a big pack show. We're going to talk about a lot of things that happen on stage. I guess on stage is our theme of the night.
Yeah.
Because we've got an update from the DragonCon Theater and Performing Arts lovers. Gary and Sarah are going to join us. We've also got some of the people from Burlesque, the Burlesque crew, which is great, and we've got the band the Killbillies joining us as well. So a lot of on-stage action here that we got to get to. But before we do, let's take care of a little bit of business. We are an unofficial podcast of DragonCon. We are not and never have been officially connected with the convention. For all official news, we strongly recommend checking out the official site and social media outlets. We are a proud member of the ESO Network. On the esonetwork.com page, there's a direct link to our TeePublic store filled with all kinds of cool swag, including a very cool design for the DragonCon Report podcast. Always love seeing people show up in those t-shirts and with that logo when I'm at con. It just is so awesome. We also have a Patreon page where supporters can access our exclusive readings of this month's DragonCon guest announcements. And thank you, patrons, for all your patience with that and for all your support. In addition to the video stream on Facebook or YouTube that you're watching, an audio version of our show is still available through all the usual outlets. You can access our past episodes over the last 12 years at DragonConReport.com. However you access our show, please like, subscribe, and share. We really appreciate you. Also, we do have an Instagram page, and on the Instagram page every Friday, I've been flashing back. In June, we flashed back 20 years to showing a lot of people in cosplay from DragonCon 2004. I'm sorry, 2014. Goodness, how old am I? 2014, and then we've got 2014 coming up in July. So yeah, if you want to see some past cosplay from DragonCon every Friday, hit our Instagram, and I think it shows up on Facebook as well. But please leave us leave us direct feedback and comment on our show. You can email us at feedback@dragonconreport.com or reach out to us via Facebook and Instagram, like I said. And we'll get started with the basic news. Of course, DragonCon is happening. It's happening less than 50 days from now. It is August 29th through September 2nd. 5-day memberships are currently at $175. They're not that cheap. They're not that cheap yet. $175, which still is a bargain. It still is a bargain for this 5-day show. Now, if available, we'll try to keep an eye on this, because in a couple of weeks, it's going to be August 1st. If available, single-day passes will go on sale August 1st.
Or beginning of August.
So yeah, sometime around then. That's the
It'll probably be announced. I would think it'd be announced on the 1st.
So we will we'll keep an eye out on that, and then let you guys know. Certainly in our media outlets, our social media outlets, will be posting updates as soon as they're available on that information. And as far as all the other applications, Parade is officially full and closed for applications. Guest applications are closed. Media applications are still open. That deadline is in mid-August. August 12th, I believe. And volunteer applications are still open, of course. And And the next volunteer meeting is happening actually in about a week or so. It's at the next volunteer meeting is on the 27th of July, and that's at the Hilton. And it also will be something you can stream as well if you can't actually be there in person.
Yeah, but coming up even sooner than that, this weekend on the 20th, if you're interested in finding out more about volunteering at con, they'll be having a volunteer recruitment event at Dad's Garage once again on the 20th. And Dad's Garage is there in Atlanta.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I have a link to it somewhere. Let me find it.
And while you're finding that, I'll also let you know if you remember, like if you're there to volunteer, or you can also check out, because there will be, in addition to the recruitment, there'll also be a performance by the folks at Dad's Garage as well. So you can get, I think there's a discount code available as well, so you can check out on that at the link as soon as we can get that. And
it's on the screen now.
Woo-hoo. And
it's a lot to type.
That'll be in our show notes as well. But that is coming up on the 20th. And I haven't heard of them doing this sort of recruitment thing before. So this is kind of cool. This is a new thing that they're trying out.
Yeah.
So very awesome. I think we also have some other news as well. Channing, what you got?
Ooh, well, I almost feel bad to be the one to bring this one up, but the curse of the Grand Cortland, aka the Grand Corgi, strikes again. Apparently, a lot of people woke up and found out that the Cortland decided to charge their cards for the full amount.
No, that's not
the full amount. The deposit, right?
Let's rewind. It's a bunch of issues. It's not just, there were some charges that were unannounced. There were some charges that shouldn't have been made. There was cancellations with no reason. Just something weird happened there over the weekend. A lot of people had various issues. But what it comes down to is DragonCon is where, if you have an issue of any kind with your reservation at the Cortland, whether you've been charged something that doesn't look right, or your room got canceled, you don't know why, DM DragonCon. They can help you, and they have already helped people, including people in my friend group. So any issues with the Cortland, please, and your reservation, please DM DragonCon. You can also get on the DragonCon Discord and ask for one of the admins there, the moderators. They can help you get in touch with avenues to get things fixed there as well.
And also, and this is sort of unprecedented by DragonCon, but they've also promised that this will be addressed in their post-con discussion with all of their venues.
Right. Yeah, which they've had in the past with them, and they can only do so much. They've been honest about it. At the end of the day, it's the hotels that are responsible for the booking, but DragonCon will exert as much pressure as they can. They can't go break any kneecaps yet.
We do not condone violence.
Oh yes, we do not condone violence.
Nor do we condone screaming at Cortland employees over the phone, because trust me, the front desk agent has no idea what's happening either.
So also another important, I think, thing that we want to cover is that there's a lot of information out there, great information. This is a good thing. For the Heinlein Life South blood drive that's out there now too, including the schedule for signing up to volunteer, to help out, as well as you can actually sign up to give blood at this point too. So there's a couple different signups. We're going to have links to, I think, a couple of them.
There'll be so it's not on our screen right now. The sign up links aren't working. You need to join the Facebook group. So there's a link on your screen right now. We will put it in the show notes after the live stream ends.
Yes.
Both on our YouTube, it'll be in the show notes on our audio version of the podcast as well. But you need to join the group to be able to access the correct sign up links. But also in partnership, once again, with the blood drive, our friends over at the DragonCon Connection Group are having their, I think, third annual DragonCon blood drive host hotel giveaway to encourage people to help donate to an important cause. They are going to be giving away 2 4-night stays at a host hotel for 2025, courtesy of RHZ Environmental Controls. The contest is not affiliated with Life South or DragonCon, but you can find out more information in the DragonCon Connection group. And they've done this for 3 years, and it's popular. Yep. I think last year over 800. I want to say over 800 entries.
Yeah, wow. I mean it's a nice way to help out a good cause. I like it.
Yeah, very cool. It's an extra bonus. I mean, everybody who donates is going to get. You get a hero T-shirt. Ribbon. You get a different. You get a ribbon. You get a T-shirt designed by Robert Heinlein, and the T-shirt this year looks pretty badass. If you want to take a look at that, look at the Facebook group as well. So, I mean, you get some goodies. You get some goodies, and you're doing a good thing. You're doing a good thing because I think especially nowadays, I think there is a shortage. So yeah, donate blood, and that's some information on that. What else we got?
We also have DragonCon posted just a few days ago, I think. And a lot of the DragonCon family has shared it. Tracy Bell has been a major part of the magic and wonder that is DragonCon. She pours her heart out and soul into making the vendor hall and many other events around con what everyone has come to know and love. She has unfortunately been affected by cancer, which is her story to tell, though her prognosis is good, but the bills are coming in. So friends and DragonCon family have started a GoFundMe to help her raise money to cover her medical expenses. And a lot of you who have volunteered at con, have been coming to con a long time, I'm sure are familiar with Tracy. We're sending her our best, and we hope this GoFundMe knocks her socks off.
Absolutely.
Exactly. There's no limit on healing and helping. You need all you can get. Yeah. Absolutely.
So now there's also plenty of other announcements about tracks that are looking for panelists. They're starting to announce some of their schedules, so check those out individually. We've been trying to post them to our Facebook and Instagram as they happen. Also, I know that the parties and meetup group is got something going, like posting a new thing almost every day.
Yeah, and I've started working on the master calendars for the groups, but it's already a lot.
Yeah, so they're starting to come in way more than we could ever announce here on the podcast. But yes, check out our Facebook group as well as Instagram for all the latest information, as well as guest information too. We're still going to cover that in our patron. We'll be butchering some names later on tonight. For those people who are interested in that. And with all of that said, I think it's time to get our first folks in here to give us an update on the theater and performing arts lovers. So
sure. All right.
Let's do it.
I think Gary and Sarah are here as well. They have been working they've been doing a lot of busy stuff. They've been posting a lot too. So there's a lot going on for a track that doesn't exist yet. You guys are really, really busy.
Yes, we don't use the T word. I think last time we were on this, I actually said we don't use the T word.
I apologize.
But yes, we've been hard at work.
You guys are an active group of Dragon.
An
active community of lovers of performance.
So give us the highlights. What's going on?
Oh gosh. Well, we're doing a ton of stuff. We've got way more panels than we did last year. Like at least 5 or 6 more panels than we do this year. We've got not sure how to phrase that. Am actually cast directing the Subspace Rhapsody picture show, which is going to be a full-scale shadowcast, think Rocky Horror type shadowcast of the very first full musical episode ever done on Star Trek. So that has been taking up much of my time, as Gary can tell you. I've been stressing just a little much.
Yeah, so if you want to see the original K-pop, you have to come to this performance.
Right. The original K-pop Klingons are going to be there. Let me see. Like, what else are we doing? We're doing a few sing-alongs here.
We are doing a few sing-alongs.
We're doing South Pacific. We're doing Rent.
We're doing
alternate history track. And we're doing Rent with the Sci-Fi Classics track. And then
I might have had a little something to do with the authorizing that. But yes, and I also and I just want to make sure we're stressing it in the description of the panel, and I want to make sure that everybody knows we're doing this in the classic track room. So seating will be limited. I think the most people we can cram in there by law is 250. So if you want to see it, show up and be ready. And don't complain to me if you can't get in.
No, they'll probably complain to me because they'll say, Sarah, you didn't tell us. And I'm going to be like, I absolutely did.
Yeah. And also, before we could get too deep, I want to extend my extreme gratitude on the behalf of myself and Sarah to all the tracks that we are working with. We reached out to each one of these tracks and their directors and said, hey, would you be interested in doing this, or this? And they were gracious enough to work with us. And we will always be grateful for that. So if you're a fellow track director and you're working with us, thank you. And if you're not working with us, we'll keep pestering you.
Still sending out emails, guys. Check your email.
It's like we're doing stuff with the horror track. We're doing stuff with the Apocalypse Rising track. I mean, we're all over.
We're doing stuff with urban fantasy. We're doing digital media. We're doing high fantasy, which brings me into a little bit of a scoop. If you guys want it, you
a
guys
scoop?
Like scoops?
Did you say you have a scoop?
Our third
I'll take Fudge Ripple,
which is going to be a large room sing along, is going to be Wicked.
Okay.
Which is 20th anniversary. It's huge ask. People have been asking between Rent and Wicked, and then another one about storming of France. Those are our top 3 requests. We did not get that third one in for this year, but you never know. There's always another year. But Wicked is going to be our big sing along this year, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
I have a feeling it's going to be popular.
I think it's already started.
Nice. Yes.
I think the sing along has already started.
Yes, indeed.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Amber.
Sorry,
Hi, Amber.
Amber, yes, and we are working with Filk. We're gonna be doing a panel over with them as well. So, we're a little spread out this year, even more so than last year. We're doing so much, but I'm so happy because, as Gary said, we appreciate every single track that has been willing to work with us. So.
Absolutely.
As an unofficial community non-track because we don't use the T word, you guys are doing some good work, and I think I said it before, but I'll say it again, the growth that you guys have had just in a year has been nothing short of amazing.
Right. Well, I mean, we're coming up here on 1,500 members, which, I mean, for something that is so focused on a specific topic, it really boggles my mind. We hit 2 years on June 19th, but we really didn't start actively promoting the group until the end of 2022. So, it just comes down to like all the hard work, all the community, like our members are really what motivate us to continue doing this and to continue trying to do this, because without them, I mean, I know I would burn out. And I'm pretty sure Gary is the same way. Like we wouldn't be doing it if we didn't have them being interested and We've gotten a lot of great feedback from the con. We know they've seen us, and hopefully they'll continue to see us. And we don't know what the future will hold, but growing every year.
But hopefully a nice little track room of our very own.
Yes,
it's like
room.
I've been pushing for this. I started my initial talks with the DragonCon overlords about this being a possibility 6 years ago. And it's just amazed me that how quickly, because it was like one of those things for a while I was fighting uphill, because as we've titled the group, it's performing arts. It's not just theater. It's
not
live music. It's mimes. It's opera. It's anything in front of a live audience is our focus. And that was the biggest hump, getting over that. And then once everybody realized, oh, this is what you're trying to do, it's like, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Not every nerd is a theater kid, but every theater kid is a nerd.
I think that's accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's well said. Awesome. Well, you guys are doing some amazing stuff. Any other last minute announcements you want to make? Any other scoops?
Just come to Subspace Rhapsody picture show. I can't say when it is because it keeps moving, and I think the powers that be will come hunt me down if I tried. But it's going to be the first full scale staged version of this show that we can find. We haven't found anybody else who has done more than just like a sing-along version of it. And it's going to be very theatrical. We have some funny surprises, some jokes planned. It's going to be very immersive, let me put it that way. So just even if you love Rocky, great, come see it. You'll love it. If you don't love Rocky, great, come see it. You'll love it because it's not exactly what you're going to expect. And we've got a great group of people, so.
Awesome.
And the other thing I would like to promote is our Theater Trek and Performing Arts Lovers unofficial meetup. Our official meetup is actually in the programming this year. It'll be on Thursday at 5:30 in the American Sci-Fi Classics track room, M103 to 105. We may be doing some giveaways. We may be doing opportunities for you to win prizes and make donations to the DragonCon charity through us by buying tickets. There are certain words that we can't use because they're associated with gambling, but that may be happening.
Yep, it's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll be posting. We have some cool items. Charity. We're kind of going the auction format this year just to avoid that, but we'll still be doing that word that we're not allowed to use for some fun stuff as well. So, and we'll be posting that stuff probably starting the beginning of August. We'll start posting that stuff up. So
awesome.
It's starting to sound like a speakeasy.
All right. Well, thanks for coming by to update us, guys.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
Once again, where can people go and find out all about what's going on with the Theater Lovers group?
Well, we have a link tree. Thank you, Jen. That's the link to all of our stuff. So whether you want to find our digital panels, because we do digital panels throughout the year, or if you want to find information about our schedule, parade group, any of that, that is where to go. Otherwise, if all you want to do is join our community, our page is the big mouthful, DragonCon Theater and Performing Arts Lovers. Unofficial. Unofficial is in brackets if you want the group, out of brackets if you want the page that just has announcements on it. So
I should also point out that DragonCon is one word.
Yes.
In their group.
And that was on purpose.
No, I'm just saying for people who try to search for you on Facebook, put DragonCon as one word. And if you just do that in theater, you don't need to type up the rest. The group's gonna pop up.
Find you.
Or
and I also want to plug for the Classics Track group, since you mentioned the Running of the Ropers and the Mrs. Ropers. We are doing the Three's Company table read as part of the American Sci-Fi Classics track with readings of the Ropers. Mrs. Ropers will actually be performing the role of Mrs. Roper in the read-along.
Awesome.
Yep, we're all going to be switching off.
That's very cool. Well, keep up the great work, and I guess I can't wait to see what you guys got for us coming up soon.
Yep, and send all the good vibes for our own room next year, guys. And
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank
All
you
right,
again.
take care.
Thank you.
All right, for those of you viewing us live, this is where we pretend to take a break so that I can find a spot to edit in our audio version. So we're going to be quiet.
And next up, going on, speaking of live entertainment, and I don't know if it gets more live or gets more entertaining than the burlesque people at DragonCon, but we are glad to be joined here by a few members of the troupe. We've got May is here, and Sarah as well, and Phoenix is here as well. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Hi, thank you.
I think we're all echoing. So gosh, it's been a hot minute since I've been on a podcast for something other than Ren Fair stuff. So just a quick intro. My name is May Hemmer. I am the producer of DragonCon Burlesque, a glamour geek review. And just to clear up, we are not a troupe. We are a production. I put out applications, and we have performers all over the country, sometimes internationally, that apply to be part of the show. So we are kind of like, however, my team, which I'm pretty sure Sarah will get into, we all have worked with each other at some point in the past life of performing or something like that. So I'm gonna let my peeps introduce themselves.
Hello, I'm Sarah Joy. I am behind the scenes your stage manager extraordinaire for DragonCon Burlesque. So just wave when you see me back there, but really subtly, because I'm probably paying attention to whatever May is doing. We've got an amazing crew that works behind. Oh no, don't cut out.
No, we still here.
Yeah, you're still here.
Okay, great. Oh my goodness. But we've got an amazing crew that works behind the scenes with May to make the performers look absolutely amazing and make your experience wonderful. So shout out to all of them.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah.
It's your guys, my turn. Hi, my name is Phoenix Midnight. I'm from Gainesville, Florida. I am known as the Congolese tease, but better known as the hot mess of burlesque. And this is actually going to be my first DragonCon ever, not just show, but just first DragonCon that I'm actually able to go to. So I'm excited, I'm nervous, and y'all kept stressing that 50 days left, and I'm like, ooh,
You're not the only one. I was like, could you stop hurting my feelings like that? Like, I don't need a countdown. I have enough of a countdown of my own. And let me tell you, don't make me cry. Do not make me cry, because I will cry.
Yeah, Phoenix, we're DragonCon veterans, and we feel the same way. So don't that is not a newbie feeling, I promise you.
Oh,
well, I'm excited for you to experience your first DragonCon, because I think everybody will tell you that it is an experience unlike any other. And
Yes,
even if you do it more than once, and I've done it 30 some times, and it's still a different experience for me every time. So it's one of my favorite shows. May, let's start with you. Like, what's your experience with DragonCon? How long have you been going? What was your first one like?
We're gonna talk about the Dark Ages. However, I will go into every year. It's always fun. For a long time, I was going as an attendee, and I got older and had children, so I took a small little break. The audacity. And then I ended up working with my homie, my bestie, Tallulah Love, who was the original producer of the Glamour Geek Review. So I was her stage manager extraordinaire. Ran everything from security, making sure that front of house is where they're supposed to be. So it was a little weird being on that backside of the con instead of being just someone that attends, which don't get me wrong, I love doing both sides. And so I took it over in oh my gosh, it's confusing because 2020 messed some stuff up. So I can't remember if I technically took over in 20 or 21. Same difference. But that post plague was a different experience as well, because you're starting to see people appreciate live entertainment more because they were so constrained to their four walls that it became more of a thing where they were way more excited and they're like, can't wait for the show. And like, I knew people stood in line forever, but I had people apparently that were sitting there at 8 p.m. and the show doesn't start until 11:59. I will get into that later. So it's hours. Channing knows. biggest fiend. But you start to see that different appreciation. And so it makes me feel warm and fuzzy that I have taken over in a production from a really good friend of mine that trusted me with her baby, to now being that person, trying to bring it above and beyond as well, and just feeling the love from a lot of the attendees and staff and stuff like that. So it's kind of like I have a better experience helping provide that sort of environment for people.
And Sarah, what about you? Do you have a past experience with DragonCon as well?
Yeah, I started coming, I think in 2018. I was trying to remember, it was 2017 or 2018. Crammed in a room with a couple friends and just got addicted. So May and I know each other from performing outside of DragonCon, and then realized we went to DragonCon together. And then she realized I stage managed, so we got
it was funny.
Got pulled in.
It was fun.
It's still fun. It's still a great time. Mm-hmm. So I'm here for the cosplay. You can find me on the Silk Road track. Normally, I'm a belly dancer, so that's super fun. If you were there last year, you saw me with the Goku. It was amazing.
So the big event is the Glamour Geek Review,
of course.
And yes. and is there something that's different about this burlesque show at DragonCon than, say, your average, if there is such a thing as an average burlesque show?
Oh Lord, he's trying to get me caught. He's trying to get me caught in these streets. Getting the A-Town stomped by some people. I will say, because I feel that's a loaded question and I'm being set up. No, I will say,
I am not trying to set you up. I'm honestly curious.
No, every convention show has its own, flair and their own way of doing production. I've been a part of a bunch of shows for other conventions, backside and front side, so I can't really say, how do I want to put it? Everybody's is unique, and no shade at other people. I like mine because, oh man, I'm about to be controversial for a second. I push more diversity in these shows. So the point is, you want people to see somebody that looks like you on stage, so I try to make sure that is an option. My husband, sorry, he had me pause for a second. So people know, people want to see people like them on stage, so I make sure to try and do that from, ethnicities, sizes, backgrounds, it doesn't matter.
Genders,
I was like, it doesn't matter, yes. And so that's why I try and push, and, so that people, I've been welcomed at plenty of shows, but with DragonCon, I feel like being in the ballroom, all these people are so excited and they're seeing people like them in the world. So not just simple, plain productions across the board. But Phoenix is about to die laughing. But we're trying to create that environment.
Do you want me to say it loud? You want me to say the quiet part out loud? I'll say it.
No, please don't. Mute yourself. Mute yourself. But no, so that's the thing I like. I like that, Shannon, you're not helping. That's what I like to say is, not different, but different for me as a performer who has been on that side where there's no diversity in a show. So, especially with some of the performers we got this year, surprise, surprise, you don't have to wait on it. This is the only one you're going to find out about. Outside of our headliner, Knox Falls. Oh my God. I love them. They and I go way back, like way back. And they're actually coming from Seattle. And this is their first DragonCon. I'm feeling like I'm having a flashback to last year, whereas my someone I know that headlined last year, it was their first DragonCon as well as a headliner. So that one got their that's two. Wait, because then I have this is gonna be the third person. It's their first DragonCon. So it's really hysterical. But Knox is actually my headliner. They're from Seattle. They are known as the naughty body of burlesque. You will figure that out later if you come to the show. Shameless plug. And they have a lovely costuming, cosplaying, performance stage presence, and that's why I'm really excited to bring them, because sometimes there's people that you will never see or have heard of, in a lot of places. So I try to bring people from different parts of the country. But yeah, I probably completely went down a rabbit hole.
No, absolutely. It's fine. I just, I was just curious because, we've talked to other groups about how they approach DragonCon, and it is a different mindset. I mean, last month we talked to the people who do the wrestling, and it's not just your standard wrestling show. They actually do try to cater to the audience a lot of ways by doing a lot of like geeky themed things. So it is a different experience. Sarah, do you have any thoughts on what the different experience is at DragonCon?
Oh, May knows I have opinions. Yeah. So
hey, y'all got the worst three people.
May is about to shut down the entire internet.
You know what? Let me just
May check everybody. I love it.
I'm just gonna give myself a glass of wine and shut up. All right.
So we are different in that we do feature different levels of burlesque, and everybody brings their polished A game every time. You would not believe some of these folks who are on stage have only been burlesquing for a year. They are amazing. We're also really focused on fan service. So when we're going through applications, we're looking at what is popular right now. What do the DragonCon fans want to see? And we bring that. So everything is going to be nerdy. It's all fan service because we're you. We're all you. So
now, I'm curious. First, I got to say the story of my 10-year effort to try to get into DragonCon Burlesque unsuccessfully.
Okay, hold on.
Is well known.
Wait. You mean are you talking about as a performer?
No. Oh hell no. I mean no.
You mean
no.
An attendee?
I never saw your application, my guy. Like I did.
It was the application that said mongoose.
Yes, exactly. If I was doing burlesque, it would say cyborg. There's a story behind that I will not share.
Nope, please don't.
Yeah, the first time I got in, you were talking about diversity. There was a gentleman who performed dressed as a Jabari tribe member, and I just immediately wanted to go home and do crunches and eat salad after that. Cause like dude was in shape. I'm like, yeah, I'm not getting on that stage like this.
That's right.
At
Everybody
all.
is a burlesque body. Everybody is a burlesque body. You get on stage like that.
Which I was gonna say, you guys do have a variety of body types, but then that guy came out and just kind of, we're gonna, But Phoenix, I was just kind of curious, how'd you get started in the burlesque game? What was kind of the "this is my tribe" moment for you?
So I started burlesque September 2014, so my 10-year anniversary is coming up. It was like I had heard about burlesque, and I had heard about the burlesque movie. I honestly didn't see it till about a year or 2 years ago. It was a 90s themed burlesque show, and I was like, well, that's different, because like I had taken theater classes and whatnot, like the history of theater, and I was expecting, the the ball gowns and the boas and the funds and the sparkle. And I'm like, there is a girl up here in an outfit from a cutout mop to No Scrubs by TLC. Okay, I'm interested. This is not what I had in mind. So I ended up in a weird twist of events because of that show, that one and only burlesque show that I had seen. 3 months later, I was back on that stage doing Jackie Brown, Pam Grier. Oh my God, glorious. And it took a while for me to kind of figure out, okay, like what did I feel comfortable doing? Like I tried the sparkle, and the sparkle's nice. The sparkle's great. I ain't got nothing against the sparkle and the bands and the boas and the glam. But I'm an unhinged weirdo, and anybody who sees my Facebook posts, May's like, I need to take this host phone. Anybody who has seen my posts, like, this is a weirdo. What is she smoking? What is she? I'm just weird and nerdy, and that's kind of how I took my direction with my burlesque. Anybody that knows me knows that I am a huge ass Trekkie. May is very fully aware of that. Yeah, I got a couple of Funko Pops and some action figures and some calendars and a wallet and a purse. That's all Star Trek themed.
But do you have the passport book? Do you have the? Do you have the?
I can't see you. Got your background.
Hold on. I'm just going to interrupt this moment for a special message. Virtual. But have you seen this? Oh, wait, never mind. That's not the right one.
I was like, that's Star Wars. That's
I know what I did.
You love both.
I appreciate my polystellar friends. That's.
So Phoenix, may I ask, are you preparing something new for the show for DragonCon?
No. Actually, the act that I will be doing is an act that I've had for 8 years. May, how much can I say about the act?
I mean,
let me defer to my.
I mean,
tease it like burlesque.
This is burlesque, so you are allowed to tease us.
Very well. No, I've done for 8 years. It is based off of one of my favorite characters. The act itself has gone through a few variations, especially with me pre-pandemic, where I was also pregnant during the pandemic. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. To now, 4 years later, I have my own crotch goblin. My body has changed. So I also kind of want to reflect a little bit of that. Sarah was like, what did she just call her child?
Yeah, that's what I call mine.
Yeah. Oh, see, mine have 3 levels. I have womb weasel when they're being okay.
Hey, hold on, wait. Keep it clean.
Yeah. Yeah, we do have to keep it. We do have to keep things clean here. So
this is a good time to try to transition.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say. So I do want to bring in, since we are talking about stage acts. This is I do believe that the Killbillies are a little bit different than what you guys do, but I did want to bring them in because if you don't mind sharing the stage, we've got a group of guys here that are going to be performing at DragonCon this year.
Hello.
And I'm sorry, who do we have here, Hector?
I'm Hector, Ben, and James.
Awesome. And you are the Killbillies. You're out of Florida, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yes.
And
yes.
Is this have you guys been to DragonCon before?
So this will be my, I think, 4th or 5th time attending DragonCon over the years.
Okay.
These guys are newbies. They've never been. So it all started out where I was just going to bring them to DragonCon this year, and we were just going to have a fun band weekend. And then I sent in the application to perform, and as it turned out, they picked us to perform. So now we're performing at DragonCon.
So now we get to have fun.
Yeah.
Do you guys know when exactly you're performing it? Because I would hate
I would
go up against the Glamour Geek review show.
I would also would hate for them to announce a time when we all know how the schedule is.
Yeah, they haven't.
No
idea. They haven't given us any times yet.
Hey, I would like to say, having a time is great and all, except for when it confuses the entire convention.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
will go over
Sure,
that later.
sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
as they mentioned to us, we will be performing on some sort of concourse stage, and we will be performing anywhere from one to many times. That's what we have so far.
So there may be multiple times to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
the concourse stage is at the Hyatt for all of our con attendees. Very popular stage area. So that's where you'll be able to find that.
Awesome.
And the concourse does have its own Facebook page where they will post the schedule for everybody playing once they know it. But guys, why don't you tell all of our viewers out there a little bit about the band?
I'll let Ben take that one.
Okay, so we play a lot of Celtic music and with some bluegrass in there and some it's sort of a mashup of Celtic and then other types of folk and bluegrass and outlaw country. It's all that kind of area. Anything you can play with a stand-up bass and a banjo, basically. It's a lot of fun. We've been a band for a really, really long time, and we're super tight at this point because we play like 3 or 4 times a week, and yeah, we all enjoy it. We're like all best of friends, and can't wait to come to DragonCon. It's going to be a blast. We're all mega nerds as well, so we can have a blast.
Yeah, because I run a D&D campaign that he was in. We're just nerds beyond comprehension. I was looking forward to it. I'm a Trekkie, like, was it Phoenix?
Phoenix, yeah.
I'm a Trekkie like you. I have a Locutus tattooed on my chest.
Yeah.
So when you guys are performing,
I'm sorry, can you see that?
Oh no, not the tattoo.
Wait, can we show his there?
Yes,
okay.
let's show some tattoo.
Oh my god, it's so good.
All right, wait.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Right, here you go,
I like the
Phoenix.
guy.
It's your turn. Show yours. Were you showing off 1, 2, Phoenix? There we go.
Welcome to the gun show.
Oh,
Hey.
Yes. I love it because the bird of prey is underneath it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So if you guys weren't performing, what would you be coming to DragonCon to see? Any particular tracks or celebrities that you're excited about or performers?
Honestly, I had been talking about it for a few years now with these guys. I haven't been actually since pre-COVID. Prior
change.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So I went a bunch of times pre-COVID, and then after that, just life and busy and whatever, and I just haven't gotten back. And I've talked to these guys about it for the last few years about how cool it is and how fun it is, and how just a billion people there and a billion things to do and a billion things to see. And so I decided that I was going to take them, and so I bought tickets for them for all 3 of us to go. But honestly, we hadn't had a plan, a game plan, if you will. Our game plan was just show up and have fun. So
I had a little bit of an idea. I was going to make sure that we got into some sort of D&D group or some sort of LARP group, because I haven't done like a LARP in a long time.
There's a lot of that there.
Yeah, so I was like, I know Ben, I don't think he has, so I kind of really want to get him to do that. I think it'd be a ton of fun. So. Good team building exercise.
Yes. I should warn you now, as a newbie, you should know making a plan at DragonCon is pretty much an exercise in futility. That plan's going to go out the window day 1, probably. Just throwing that out there.
Okay,
100%.
This is actually got it noted.
oh yes, yeah. Don't. The only plan you should have is when you know you officially have to be somewhere. And the rest of it is go where the 90,000 other people take you.
Absolutely. I personally thrive in chaos, so I'm gonna have
that. You'll be fine. You will grow more powerful than you've ever been, sir.
And also, if you're planning on bringing merch with you, to sell when you're doing your performances, bring more than you think you need to.
Yeah, we've been talking about that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we've been over the top on it for this one, trying to be ready for it, just in case.
Yeah, we're gonna have all different types of stickers and different types of T-shirts and stuff. It's gonna be good. I even want to make some glow in the dark shirts so that people can take them to raves that might be going on and stuff like that. Yeah, we got a battle plan.
Yeah, cool.
May and Sarah, do you guys do things outside of your events? Do you actually get to be a fan for a little bit that weekend too?
I'm gonna let Sarah answer first.
Yes, I do. I'm up at the Silk Road track. The Silk Road Expo also has a show that I usually perform in. And then we all cosplay, like just for funsies. Because why not?
Absolutely. So we have a good friend of ours down here that I believe knows Phoenix pretty well. Ruby Tesla. So yes. So I was actually, while we were in the green room, if you will, I was texting her and saying, hey, we're in this thing and they're talking about burlesque, and she's like, oh my God, I know Phoenix, I know Man, I know Sarah. Oh my God, this is great. So anyway, hello from Ruby.
Oh, I'm gonna have to message her after. So you guys are based. I see the 561. So I see the 561. So you guys are like Loxahatchee.
Yeah. Yep. West Palm area.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Bella Floridian, the band. It's all good.
All right, I'm seeing some synergy here, and May, I've been rooting for you since you got the producer spot, and we found out we have some couple of things in common. So I'm just gonna throw this idea out there: burlesque with live music.
Hold on. I'm gonna throw this out here. It's already a thing in classics, so why not in Nerdlesque? I mean,
there you go. There you go.
However, I got to talk to my track director about that. And by my track director, I mean myself. Because I don't belong to one. I am my own entity. But I will approach my powers that be and see if I could get away with some of that. But that's gonna be a huge change, and I'm not saying I'd hate it. I ain't say I hate it.
Yeah. I'm not thinking 2024. Maybe 25, 26.
If I can get a third night,
do we get to wear pasties if we do it?
I think it'd be required.
Yes, you have to wear pasties.
Yeah.
But I will say this because the rest of us are going to be wearing it. Thongs are actually a dress requirement. And
so just the normal tooth thing, right?
Okay.
Talk to Ruby. She'll make it for y'all.
Yes,
there's plenty of websites. Look, Channing's like, I'm sorry. No, but
oh no, I'm not sorry at all.
I'm sorry. Sarah, did you want to go into did you finish like what else do you do outside of being my minion gracefully?
Oh my gosh, yeah. No, like just party it up. I will be at the dance parties until like 5 o'clock in the morning and then up at 9 o'clock in the morning, because why would you not be? It's DragonCon.
9? God, I'm up at 7.
All right, so we're just gonna follow Sarah around because she seems to know what the deal is.
She seems to be the one to follow.
I know.
Right. I'm in the I'm Legacy in the Hyatt, so I'll come find you.
Yeah, I stumble back to the Cortland at like 3 a.m, and somehow, even with the darkening blinds up, 7 a.m. hits, and I'm like, all right, coffee, let's hit it, go again. And then
Seeing as Hector's wearing this shirt. I thought, so we have a local music podcast called 561 Music. So if anyone's interested in hearing the music in our area, just go to YouTube or any of those different places and look up 561 Music Podcast. You can hear about all the bands that we have around where we are. We do them once a week. Just figured I'd give it a quick plug.
That's cool.
Nice. Hey, I will add it to the show notes as well.
Yeah, we actually had Ruby on there a while back because we were doing musicians and music bands and things like that, but we also had just performers in general from the area. So
I got distracted by comments. Sorry.
No, that's okay. We are getting.
I know it's
a
really
comments. We do appreciate
chat.
everybody who's watching and listening, man. Yeah, you guys are got the rooms buzzing. So,
okay, so we are at almost at about an hour here, but why don't we go around and so everybody tell us what you are most looking forward to at this year's con.
Start with me.
Yeah.
What am I looking 2 a.m. on Sunday morning, because then I can actually do things.
Wait, while you're talking about times, do you want to explain?
Please, dear God. Okay.
Yeah.
This drives me. It's drive me up the wall for years, even before I took over. So we are at the Sheraton. It will always be the Sheraton, aka the Cortland, whatever they are now this time. And we are actually in the Grand Ballroom Saturday night at 11:59 p.m. And I say it like that for a reason. See, Channing knows in the schedule, it says midnight. So people don't know if it's Saturday morning or Sunday morning. So that's why we always put out there, hey, 11:59 p.m. on this date. So that way there's no confusion. I love that app so much, but we are not a Saturday morning show. We are a Sunday morning, if you want to even call it that, after hours show. So that's the biggest thing to remember. If you see midnight, take it a minute back. That's what day you gotta be there.
Saturday mornings are for cartoons, not for burlesque.
No,
Best way to remember it.
No, instead we're gonna be heathens on Sunday mornings.
Yeah, it's somebody in the parties group asked me if the Sunday night rave was. They're like, is it Sunday night, as in Saturday into Sunday, or Monday night, or Sunday night as in Sunday into Monday? And I was like, shit, I don't know how to answer that question.
I'm gonna campaign, at least for some of us people with us, put like the 1 minute before the actual hour with that day.
That's smart, honestly. Our podcast comes out at midnight on Friday, and every time I write it, I realize it's confusing, and I've never changed it. And I think you might be onto something there. That's smart. 11:59. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, you'll have to start lining up long before then, because it's tough to get a seat.
Who you telling?
all I have to say is someone that's been working this show front and back of house for quite some time. If it's 11:59 p.m. show, you might want to line up at 8 if you don't have anything else to do, because they will shut it down.
Yeah.
We have a capacity. Once the seats are full, it's shut down. If somebody leaves, cool. If somebody doesn't, that's up to you. It's not a joke. Channing knows.
But I will say, it is one of the most fun lines to be in. You meet some really interesting people during that wait. That is a lot of times why I stayed in it for as long as I did. Literally, I tried starting in 2008 when I first went to DragonCon. I did not get into burlesque until 2021, which oddly enough, that was when May was officially announced. And not only, yes, not only did I get it, my buddy and I from high school, shout out Mike Washington for convincing me to go. We were like the last 5 in. They just kind of said, how many seats are left? 6 seats left. The guy at the door just starts counting. Yeah, so like he was 4, I was 5. So we're back row, but we got in, so it still counts.
And of course, it is a show well worth waiting for.
Yeah, it is. I'm not. Hi, y'all have children. So just let me.
I love how we all pretend that we're not at home in our houses.
Oh wait, yeah, that's right. I gotta fix that.
Well, Sarah, what are you most looking forward to this DragonCon?
Ooh, I mean, other than the Glamour Geek review, I'm most looking forward to seeing my con friends who I actually made while I was at DragonCon. We all have a legacy room together and just hanging out with them. And I was injured last year at DragonCon. So I'm looking forward to completing the entire con without injury and coming back to the Silk Road Expo and finishing my set.
I plan on not being in a reticulated knee brace.
That's right. It was a rough 2023.
All right, Phoenix, since it's going to be your first time, has anybody teased anything to you that happens at con, or What are you hoping to see or do this year?
Besides the burlesque show, I mean, there's a lot of the Atlanta burlesque scene that I have not seen in a few years that I definitely want to hang out and catch up with them. On there for a second. But also, there's a bunch of the next generation Star Trek that are going to be there, and I have a batlet Worf as a burlesque act. That is not the act I am bringing this year. That is not the act I'm bringing this year, but I do have a batlet that I use, and I want as many of them to sign it as I possibly can.
Okay, so since this is your first DragonCon, and you're a Trek fan, the number one thing I can tell you, you do not want to miss, and I believe this happens Sunday afternoonish, around 1-ish, I think 1 to 3. It's called the Riker Games, and it is the most amazing thing you will ever see in your life.
Does it involve the Riker maneuver? Is the Riker maneuver involved?
Yes.
Okay.
There are stages. There's like 3 rounds. And you have to improv fighting phaser fire. You have to pull the leg over the chair. You have to scold your red shirts. Like there's all sorts of tasks. And last year, I think there was 29 contestants who signed up. I have not laughed so hard in my life. I lost my voice.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, I love watching the Killbillies react to this too, since 2 of them have not been yet. They're just getting more and more excited everything that you say.
So these guys, you have no idea. These guys are so excited. They were excited about just going, and now performing is they're even more excited. But they're just like, every time I throw something else out there, like, oh yeah, just remember this, or I just remember. They're like, holy cow, like that's just ridiculous.
All right. So guys, what's the one thing you're each hoping to do this year?
Well, the thing that I'm most looking forward to is us 3 dressing up as like trios of different things. So we've got a few ideas, but definitely going to be a Star Trek one involved, as we're all pretty hardcore Trekkies, but we've got all these different outfits planned, and that's what I'm looking forward to the most. It's going to be
I'm not saying who's going to be Riker, but the beard fits.
If the beard fits.
Don't make me be Wesley.
Look, in our eyes, you guys are all Riker.
We lost someone.
All right. We lost her. Oh dear. Oh, no. But we are about at the end of our time here, gang, and we appreciate it so much, all of you stopping by to chat with us. But before we do get out of here, is there anything you want to plug last minute? Want you remind folks anything like that? Here's your chance. Who wants to
You
go
can
first?
find our album. It's called Back to Basics, and it's on all streaming services. Back to Basics by Killbillies, and we're pretty easy to find online. If you go to all of the socials, are Killbillies FL. So Killbillies and FL after it for Florida, and that's where you can find all the information about us. We're pretty busy online, so you should go check it out. There's always something going on.
Nice.
And they're quick to respond to messages, because that's how I got a hold of them, folks. So.
It's important.
Yep.
Absolutely.
It's everything.
I guess I've talked about the burlesque show quite a bit. I'm actually also in charge of the Pinups by the Pool Party, also at the Sheraton poolside. I don't know if any other pool parties at the con.
There's the unofficial mermaid one also at the Sheraton, but that's about it.
Oh, anyway. So that might be who's hanging out before. But it's usually at 8 p.m. It's been a little bit of an adventure. But that's where you can come in and get judged by the performers, aka picking the ones that they like costume wise and fan service, to compete like in a pinup contest. But the thing about this one is this specific type of pinup contest, it is not Mr. or Miss. It is whatever you do. And one year we had a guy cosplaying as the landlady from Kung Fu Hustle, and he won.
Yeah.
My friend does that costume.
So don't miss the pool party. You're gonna see everything from landlady to a pinup alien from Aliens. So it's a really good fun time, even if you don't,
And what night is that one?
That's on Friday night.
Friday night.
Friday night of the con at 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Awesome.
7:59.
There you go.
Well played.
There you go. Nice callback. Nice callback.
Once again, that is indeed an event you too have to get in line for, because we have a smaller cap for the pool party.
Yeah, I've managed to get into it. I just go hang out and sit on the side and watch all the fun, but I'm staying there, so it's a little bit easier for me to sneak in the pool. So.
Absolutely. Cool. Anything else you want to promote, May, Sarah?
I'm putting everybody's links up.
Just a call back to that 561 Music podcast. We're really trying to get that out there in the world. So it's 561 Music podcast on YouTube and all streaming services.
Awesome. So, well, cool. Well, we will definitely direct everybody to those, as well as all your social medias and everything like that, so that people can follow you and check you out. And of course, see you at DragonCon. It's going to be amazing. And thanks for all that you guys do. I know it's going to be a rough time getting ready for it, but it's we all know it's worth it, right? So
I think my shirt says my method for getting ready for it, which is don't rush me. I'm waiting for the last minute.
I feel very seen by that shirt.
Yeah.
That is a shirt that I think I put on every day.
Or here, mine's appropriate for panicking for only under 50 days.
I love it.
I don't know about you, Channing. I just have a regular DragonCon shirt. So.
I'm actually in my Randy Watson mode.
Yes.
Yes. It's a little known album he actually released called Good.
That boy good.
Yeah, that boy good. Nice to meet some fellow fans.
Oh my gosh.
I was hoping that was the reference.
That concludes the DragonCon Report fashion show, as well as this episode of the 2024 DragonCon Report. Big shout out to Killbillies for joining us. Thank you guys so much. And from May, Sarah, Phoenix from the Glamour Geek Review, thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate you guys. Look forward to seeing you at the con. And of course, major shout out to our station crew, Channing. Thank you, man, so much. So
always
fun.
A pleasure. Yes, thank you guys for putting up with me.
We have been getting a lot of great compliments this season about the work we're doing on this show. So
and people are very excited about the mongoose at con.
You know what? You might want to forward that information to him. I mean, because I think the mongoose is going to be a cult. I just feel like a cult is starting.
Yeah,
I will pass that on.
If you get a DragonCon Report ribbon this year, there's a shout out to the mongoose on there. So
I'll pass it on, but I don't want to lose my job to the mongoose too. I got to be careful. I don't want to hype him up too much.
Well, I mean, we might be talking to him outside of like you.
Reach his agent. Yeah.
We'll see if that works out. I don't know if we can have the two of you both, I don't know if your egos will allow that, but in any case, thanks, Channing. Where can people find you in the meantime?
You can find me online at Channing Sherman on most of the socials, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. You can follow my group. We're the Black Geeks of DragonCon. Not a protest, just a party showcasing some of the diversity at DragonCon. Look for us on Facebook at Black Geeks of DragonCon or on Instagram at Black Geeks DC.
Awesome. And Jen, thank you so much for working your magic on both sides of the webcam. And yes, you mentioned we've got ribbons.
Yes, we do have ribbons. I just ordered them last week. I also ordered ribbons for the DragonCon parties, meetups, and more group. That's a group I started a few years ago, as many of you out there know. But If you're not a fan of going through the app or you just want some help finding out fun stuff to do at con, I run a master list of band performances, their burlesque show, parties, whether they're official or pop-up group fandom meetups, stuff like that. So look up DragonCon Parties, Meetups, and More on Facebook or on Discord. You can find me at Lil Bit Odd on Instagram. And if you get bored, you can find me every Sunday night streaming. Well, yeah, I guess it's streaming, but I'm also live on the radio on 92.1 KNBT Radio New Braunfels from 7 to 8 on Sunday nights. It's called the Hill Country Hayride. It's a radio show where I play roots, rockabilly, honky tonk, all that kind of stuff. And I'm about to celebrate my 18th year on the air.
Okay.
So,
Wow, congratulations.
The
That is
hardest working
awesome.
woman in broadcasting, podcasting, radio,
estate sales,
Estate
costuming.
Queen. She's just becoming queen of all media.
Yeah. Didn't Roseanne used to call herself that? No, I don't need that moniker.
Well, okay. All right, or maybe yes. But yeah, very excited about the ribbons. So if people want to check out the ribbons, they can look at our social medias to find out what they look like. But yes, you'll be able to grab one of those while they are in supply this year at DragonCon. So look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, and as long as Channing and Mike both make an effort to run into me, they will have some ribbons on them.
Oh yes.
If not, you'll just get them from me.
Yes. We have discussed off air. We will try to at least meet up to have a quick drink, if nothing else. We're all over the place.
But also a reminder for all of our Wednesday night folks. Last year, the Parties, Meetups, and More groups partnered with the DragonCon DJs for a kickoff party Wednesday at the Marriott. This year, the DragonCon Report is joining in as well. Woo-hoo. So so both the ribbons will be with me there at that party. Awesome. We will have the DJs on next month, so you'll hear more about that.
Absolutely. Nice teaser. Nice and nice for our big damn preview show.
Yes,
with DJs that's coming up. So and that was another not so subtle teaser about the next show too. So but anyway, thank you so much. And of course, you can find me. I do the podcast I do a few podcasts on our station on the ESO network, Earth Station Who, which we're still talking about Doctor Who, even though the new episodes are gone for the year. We're still doing classic episodes, and then Bat Chums, which is a show that I do where I review episodes of the Batman 60 series, and podcasting wise, and then of course. Publishing wise, I've got some news coming up with the Dragon Tales book, which should be available. We'll know pretty soon. So I might have some big news on that coming up within the coming couple weeks. So stay tuned for that information. We try to cover all we can with these episodes, but to keep up with the latest news, please check out the official DragonCon website, social media outlets, Facebook. They're on all the social medias as well. All the fan tracks are active on social media too, so check them out because there's a lot happening right now. There's a ton of stuff, and almost every group, like DragonCon news, is coming out all the time. And I am trying to publish as much as I can over our page on Instagram, both on Instagram and Facebook. So 3 or 4 times a day now, it seems like it's hitting. So we are a proud member of the ESO Network. On the ESOnetwork.com page, there's a direct link to our TeePublic store filled with all kinds of cool swag. Please check that out. And thank you so much for those people who have supported our Patreon page, where again you can access. Yes, we haven't mentioned any of the guest announcements that have been made, but there's been a lot of those. So expect another big episode for us to mangle a bunch of names on the Patreon page coming up pretty soon as well. Whether you're watching or listening to us, please help support our show with a like, subscribe, and a share. If you want to leave us direct feedback or comment on the show, feedback@dragonconreport.com, and you can reach us on all the social medias too. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. I'm your host, Mike Gordon, and as always, it's been my pleasure. Take care, stay safe, and we'll see you at the con.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the DragonCon Report. Whether you're a longtime fan or joined us for the first time, we hope you've gained some valuable insights and tips to make your DragonCon experience unforgettable. Don't forget to stay connected for more updates and future episodes. Until next time, keep learning, keep planning, and keep the con spirit alive.
You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.